Hey guys, it's your girl Blatina Ninja, and I know what you're gonna say. I thought you died. No, I did not die. I did not die. I was just very lazy, but also very concentrated because I finally graduated with my bachelor's. Oh, I am done with school for now. But so much has happened since I last talked to you guys. So many news I have to tell you, so I'll try to say them as clearly as I can. First things first, of course, I just said graduated from college with my bachelor's. Second thing is I was very, very busy during summer because it was the last semester and it was just like really crazy, and I was applying to jobs in Japan, which leads me to my next thing. You're probably wondering, why am I specifically wearing this sweater today? Because I had this sweater before. It's because I got my job to teach in Japan. Yay! I will be moving around February to early March, and I cannot wait. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait to show you guys everything. This will be the second time for me, but like also first time, so it's like going to be crazy, but bear with me. Just so many things. I guess the last thing is I do really want to make this into a real channel. I want to be able to document my time in Japan and share it with you guys, as I know like you guys probably see other people do, like Abroad in Japan, Tokidoki Traveler, Tokyo Creative. Like, it's just a lot of channels that I watch, and I know you guys are like, Jonah, are you going to try to be like one of them? Sort of, because I will be teaching. It'll be, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 type of job. Well, actually, no, it's going to be like an 11 to like 5:36 type of job. So, yeah. But I will try to do my best. But this video is going to be 12 things I wish I knew that you will now know while going to Japan. Now, some of these have to do with before you go to Japan, and some of these are after you get to Japan. Well, actually, only one of them is before. Two of them. The first two, actually. Okay. If you hear any walking around, it's going to be my new dog. He's lying down. It's being very good. I did have a previous video with 4 minutes, and then he messed it up. So he's laying down. Hopefully it's going to be chill for the rest of the video, which I hope is not that long, because your girl had a video in the works for you guys around June, July, but I never posted it because I was getting bored of it. It was gonna be an hour long. Even if I cut it down, even if I asked my friend to cut it down, it was gonna be 45 minutes, and I know you guys did not want to watch that, so I'm trying to make this at least 20 minutes. And if you guys want to watch or want to see me post the other video, again, remember, it's gonna be from way before, but two, it was basically about me and my friend talking about our top 5 anime and discussing why. That's kind of why it was an hour long, but it was also because your girl, again, sucks at editing and doesn't feel like doing a whole lot of stuff at editing. You know me, I just like to put my, my pictures and stuff, but I don't really like to cut down or chop up stuff. So that's why it was also an hour long, because it was just random stuff, like my parents coming home and me changing the lights and all that. So yeah. So let's get into it, because we're already almost at 4 minutes, but it was valuable information. But I am, guys, looking for new subscribers, so if you can pass my name around, because I am up to 20 subscribers. My last 2 came from my job, which, guys, it's just been so much. But I love my job. I love my people inside that job. But two of my coworkers were like, I'm going to follow you. So now I have to follow them on their YouTube channel. Well, no, one of them, she does sim videos. Maybe I'll put her contact down on the bottom, and then you guys will be like, oh, I'm going to follow her. And then, you just tell me that you followed her, and then tell her that you followed her because of me. So, yeah. But I'm at 20, but I'd like to get to 30, maybe for the New Year's, and maybe get to 50 before I get to Japan. Just asking. Pass my name around. So, without further ado, let's get with this 12 things I wish I knew, and now you guys will know, before coming to Japan. First things first, come to Haneda Airport, not Narita. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I thought the same thing, but all the research says go to Narita. It's so amazing. But think of this. When I came through Narita at night. I had to find my Airbnb host because he was so gracious enough to meet us there and show us, because it was our first time to Japan. It was our first time, honestly, out of the country for me, and for my mom, yeah. So yeah, and then we came in the middle of a typhoon, so then I had to get a cold. So starting college over there, with a cold was not really nice. And then also meeting my homestay parents with, a cold just was not nice. So go to Haneda. Because another reason is that Haneda is super close. It's right outside Tokyo Central. Narita is like so far. Okay, listen to this. For Narita, we took a bus to a train station, and then we took a train to a certain destination, but it wasn't even close enough because then we walked about 10 to 15 minutes in the rain to get to our Airbnb. Then the guy, he kind of didn't even map it out himself, but I like Yo. Was it his name Yo or Yo-Yo? Something like that. And we were walking in the rain. He was trying to be nice and hold one of our bags, but it was just crazy. And then when we got to the place, he needed to go back to his place, get the key, come back to our place, and also my mom had to leave because she had to get shown where to put the key after they leave the Airbnb. So it was me and my mom's friend, we're just waiting there in the cold, just wanting to go inside. And then we had to do laundry because of course our clothes were wet from the luggage, and then it rained during the night. So if you don't know this, that Japan doesn't have really a dryer system. It's more like a washer, and then it wrings out your clothes, and then you kind of have to hang dry them. So we hung dry them outside, just for them to get wet again in the rain. So I tell you, please come through Haneda Airport. I don't care where you guys come through Haneda Airport. Don't come to Narita. You'll probably meet your other friends who are like, no, but it says go to Narita, all these articles. No. The newer articles should be saying Haneda. Older articles were saying Narita. I don't know why. Again, I didn't really explore Narita Airport because I came at night. So I don't know how to tell you that. Number 2 is learn simple kanji. And the first 2 ones that you need to know are the kanji for male and the kanji for female. Now, of course, the only reason why you would need to know those 2 is for bathroom reasons. I would hate for you guys to walk into the wrong bathroom. Now, I didn't. And the only reason why I didn't is because not all bathrooms are just going to have the kanji. You'll be lucky to have, the symbol for female and male, mostly when you go to, the train stations and stuff. I think it's, really restaurants and maybe schools, if you were, doing college or whatever, that only has the symbols for, male and female. The kanji symbols. So learn those. I'm not saying you're going to run into that problem every time. I'm just saying there may be that one time out of your whole stay that you'll be ridiculed and then you'll just have a shitty time the rest of the time. So if you're going to learn any kanji, anything, learn those 2 kanji. And then that leads me to my next thing, which is if you don't know Japanese, that's fine. That is fine. When I first went to Japan, I knew very little to no Japanese. I learned the basics. Of course, anime taught me the basics. But yeah. So, here's the thing. I'm teaching English in Japan. Kids already know some words in English. Now, the best way to communicate with people in Japan is using words, not a whole sentence or phrases, because they don't even know those kind of things. Trust me, they don't, and that's kind of one of the things I'm going to be dealing with when I teach kids in Japan. But so, when I went to Japan, me, my mom, and her friend wanted to go to Tokyo Tower, but we were told, I was, literally 20 minutes away. It was, a 30-minute walk from my college, where my college was, because they moved, to Tokyo Tower. Now, you think that's awesome, but I still have to know where it was. So as we're walking, we're getting lost. Now, I walked up to a security guard, and the only things I said was, Tokyo Tower? And, kind of was I don't know where it's at. And he immediately knew what I wanted, which was, directions to it. And he simply gave it to me, as best as he could in his English. And told me it was, turn and, go up. And, and I was that does make sense, because it did work. We turned and we went up, and it was there. And then my mom and her friend were oh, yeah, we just got directions too. I don't know how they did it. I should have asked them. But that's how it happened. But just use simple words. Don't use a whole thing. So, even, say if you go to a restaurant and you really want to give them compliments on their food, just don't say, the food was good. Say, food? Good! Or, or, food bad, or, food spicy. If you also do, hand signals, they're, good. But if you do know a little bit of Japanese, I will say you kind of get brownie points. And I will be a testament to this, and I've asked other Japanese people, and they say it's okay with it too. You get brownie points if you speak Japanese and also give that Japanese accent. like doko desu ka, like, kind of like put that, the Japanese accent. Don't like say toko desu ka. Like, I knew some people who were in my Japanese class that I took when I was in my college, in my university here in the States, who could not do their R's or they just say them. And, and I was just like, guys, you're giving us a bad look when you speak Japanese. So you get brownie points if you can get the accent so spot on, or at least spot on for a foreign person. Do that. Now, the next thing, and this is more for the guys, but if you're some woman, you might be also weirded out when this happens, is that if you guys are traveling in the morning, and I think at night, but I think it's mostly in the morning, there are such things as women-only carriages on the train. So, if you guys are like me and you watch anime, and you may watch some other stuff, you may know that the whole rumor is like, oh my god, there are perverts on the train. Now, to combat this, Japan has made women-only, sections of the train. So it's not the whole train, but it's like sections, and it has like pink signs, and it says like women only, and it's like the sign. I think it was like 7:30 a.m. to like 9:30 a.m. or like to 9 o'clock a.m. I don't know if they have it in the evening, but that's the sign I saw. So I guess for, like I said, for guys, just look out for the pink signs. Don't look at your phone just look up from your phone, because you're gonna look at it. And you're not gonna look. You're gonna wonder why you're the only guy. You're gonna wonder why all these women are looking like they want to kill you, or like looking at you with disgust. It's because you're in a women-only carriage, and you're not supposed to be there. For the women, if you notice that there's no guys, that's why, and you'll be fine. But again, just look out for that. I didn't see them. That's because mostly when I traveled, I was always traveling past like the time that they had them, and always, I guess I wasn't near the carriage to get to be in it, but I'd like to be in one and see. It was like, yeah, this is nice, because I always had that fear too. I don't want to say that Japan does have that problem. They kind of do have that problem, but I don't want to say that's like a big thing. But it does apparently happen to warrant making a women only carriage. Apparently it has to. Can't have a rule if there was no time when the rule was broken. But yeah, just think about that. The next thing, and I think you guys probably already know this, but Japan is a cash country. Now, do they have ATMs and credit card systems? Yes. But if you go to like flea markets or like stuff like that's outside, of course, like they're not gonna have like those Apple things like you've been seeing like that people have now. No, you need cash. But that also goes for restaurants that are not too new. So I'm not saying you can find that out, because I don't know how to find that out for myself. But I would just be wary of all the restaurants that you go to that look a little, not worse for wear, but just look like they haven't changed in like 20 to 30 years or so. And if that's the case, you're gonna need cash. So I would say always carry to like $200, $300 in cash, yen in cash. Now you may think that's crazy, but it's, 2,000 yen, which is like 2,000 to 3,000, which is, yeah, something like that. You know what I mean. In yen money, you want to have about $300 or $200 in your pocket. Now, you may think that's a lot, but it's actually, you're going to find, I'm not saying you're going to spend like $200 in a day, but you're going to realize that your vacation, your trip went much more smoother having the option of like, oh, I already have cash, not I have to go to the ATM. Now, if you do need to go to the ATM, you can go the ones that are always in the convenience stores. There's always an ATM. Sometimes they're in weird places. Like I went to a 7-Eleven, or as they say in Japan, a 7 Holdings, and the ATM was like outside but inside. So you have to go outside the store to go back inside a secret part. Like not a secret part, but like a different part where you couldn't access it. Like you couldn't go around. You have to go outside to go through another door. But yeah, so if you go to banks, they most of the time won't take the card. Like I had to ask my homestay parents, like, is this a good ATM? Can I use my Visa here? But most of the time they are kind of good, but just make sure to go to convenience stores for that. But yeah, so you'll see them, you'll get them, but again, try to go and get your cash when you're at the airport. Try to take out cash before you even leave your country, so that way you don't have to do the whole conversion and lose some money while you're transferring. And also, like any ATM, when you withdraw money, they charge you, I think it's like, I don't want to say, I think they charge me like, I think it's like they charge me like $5. So take that into account. Like I'm okay, I want to take out $100. Just know that you're taking out $100 and you're paying $5. So for every 100 you take out or whatever, for every like money you take out, you have to spend 5. So just be wary of that. So bring money if you want and then convert it over there. So it's not that bad. But yeah, that's kind of like all I know for the money part. I don't know everything, because my thing was just withdrawing money and that was it. The next thing, but there are places if you go around that convert the money. They're like, I don't want to say they're hidden, but they're just like, I just happen to see a place and run into it, so that's good. I know this video is going to be longer than 20 minutes. Didn't want it to be, but the next 2 things I feel like everyone knows, or the next 3 things actually. First is slurping. And you guys are probably, I don't know if you guys researched this, but for me when I saw it, it was like a random thing that I came upon. I was like, slurping. It's good. Actually, if you think about it, when you're eating noodles that are like really long, slurping may be the better option than looking like you have like, you're trying to be like the hungry hippo. You're like, because it's not gonna work and it looks stupid. I'd rather just slurp and get it all in one fell swoop in my mouth, and then get a little splash of like, of water or dashi or whatever on my face, than look like I'm having a stroke and I don't know how to eat. So, also learn how to use chopsticks at the same time. So, do that. Do your homework before you go. My mom is always like practicing her chopsticks whenever you have Chinese. So just telling you, slurping is okay, and honestly, you may want to slurp more than like do the whole bite thing. Next thing is there's no tipping. Now, I don't want to say it's hard to find this information, but no tipping is not like a big thing that people look up or like looking up when you think about restaurants. So I think I mentioned this in my 5 weird things about Japan. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. It's kind of like, it has like 5 of the same things I maybe talk about, but one of the things is the no tipping. So don't even try to tip, don't do it. You're basically grading someone on their waitering skills if you tip them. Now, we do that here, but honestly, waiters had to live off those tips. So tip your people here, but in Japan, don't tip them at all. Just don't, and they have their reasons. But yeah, in Japan, just don't tip. It'll be weird. Sorry, guys. It'll be weird like the first 2 times, but honestly, the more you do it, it'll become second nature. I only went out a couple of times, so, and the only time I really went out and I had like a waiter was when my first 2 weeks we went out to a restaurant, and I was like, Mom, just want to make sure, no tipping. And my mom was like, yeah, I remember. And then my mom's friend forgot that, and she almost tipped, and I was like, don't tip, guys. It's gonna be very awkward when you have to take the money back, and you're like, oh, yeah. So don't tip. The next thing is wear footwear you can take off easily. Now, everyone in the world should know that you take off your shoes when you go into certain places. If you go into a place in Japan and it has like a little step, that's an indicator to take off your shoes. And if you want to wear your fancy shoes that took you about, 15 minutes to put on, pretty sure it'll take you about 15 minutes to take off, unless you have that whole, I tied it, but I didn't really tie it tight enough, and I can just like slip it off with my other foot. Good, fine. But just don't make it weird when you're like the last person walking in the building because you're taking too long to take off your shoes. Now, I don't have like very confusing shoes. Most of my shoes are just simple ties. Like I mostly have, sneakers or, tennis shoes or whatever. I have like a few boots that I wear, like 2 that tie. And I try to either wear them I wear them very rarely, or I just tie them loose, so that way when I go, I can just be like, boop, and just take it off. So, just forewarn, if you want to dress fancy, fine, but if you're going somewhere and you have to take off your shoes, just know you may look like the stupid person because you wore the complicated shoes, because you wanted your outfit to look awesome. Now you look stupid, but you still look good. The next thing is taxis are expensive. Now, I think this is becoming a newer thing to include on travel tips to Japan. I feel like because I didn't find this, but I didn't hear about this until I actually went to Japan. I didn't know about that. I mean, I knew taxis were like a bit pricier, but I mean, what what state doesn't have pricey taxes? I mean, have you been to New York? Because I have, and let me just tell you, not fun. But anyway, taxes are getting a bit more expensive, especially with the Olympics coming up. They're trying to like decide, should they make it more expensive because people are coming, or less expensive because people are coming. They're still deciding that. A lot of more, newer taxi companies are more, able, like, I don't know, I forgot the word, but like, if you're in a wheelchair, they have, accessible, yeah. So there are more accessible taxis. So those are good for people that are in wheelchairs and they just want to, need a taxi to get around. But if you don't need a taxi and you can use the train or walk, because you never know what you might see if you walk. And trains are always good too. So yeah, trains are always good. But also, there's kind of no such thing as Uber. There's Uber Eats, because I've seen it. I've seen a cart and it said Uber Eats. So that's a thing. But Uber itself is not really a thing unless you're like, it's Uber Black. So unless you're a celebrity and you got the money and you got it raining down on you, don't even do Uber. I was gonna do Uber from my homestay home to the airport. Now you think it's crazy now. I didn't think it was crazy. You know how much it would have been? $200. $200 to get from where I was to the train station to the airport. And all I did at the end was taking a train that specifically goes to the airport, and I paid $50. Now, you think it's expensive, but, I mean, the train that just takes you straight to the airport, awesome. And it takes you to your terminal. $50 compared to the $200. It's quadruple the price. No, see? Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, again, when you get to Japan, get your Pasmo or Suica. Now, I got Suica when I went to Japan. Pasmo, I forgot there's a difference. There is a difference between them. I think Pasmo lets you get onto some of the subway lines, and Suica doesn't. But I didn't run into that problem because I had Suica and I still went on some of the subway lines. But I think it's like maybe like certain subways that are exclusive that you need a Pasmo. But if you want, you can do more research on this. If I can, I'll probably find like an article too. But I'm trying to think about what the big difference are. But as long as you're going to the main places in Japan, like Akihabara, Shibuya, Harajuku, all those places, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Most of the subways, like the ones I took like a few subways. I think I took like a total of like 3 different lines of subways, and all 3 of them took my Suica, so I was fine. So yeah, I would suggest getting that. You can get that also at the train station. Or at the airport, when you first come in, you can get your thing. When you get your Suica, or I think even the Pasmo, I don't know if the Pasmo, I got the Suica, so picking on Suica people, you pay a deposit of $50, and you think it's a lot, but if you're a traveler, and you return the Suica when you're about to leave, you get the deposit back. It's almost like, like when you put a deposit on an apartment and you get it when you leave the apartment, as long as your apartment's fine. It's the same thing for the Suica. You put a deposit, but you'll get it back once you put the card, return the card. But if you're living there, of course you're not going to get that card, not saying that money back again. But yeah, it's a nice thing. But don't treat it like a souvenir. There's money to it and there's money in it that you can never use if you're never going back to Japan. Next thing is, public Wi-Fi. That leads me to another thing. See, all this is in the airport. Wi-Fi. Now, when you go to the airport, again, I didn't get this because I didn't research all this until after I went. You can get a SIM card. You can rent a SIM card and a portable Wi-Fi. Now, for me, I'm going to be living there, so I'm going to be buying an actual SIM card. I already have a phone that can take 2 SIM cards. That's another thing. If you're planning on living there, look for a phone that can carry 2 SIM cards. There's a good few of them around. If you have an iPhone, you're shit out of luck unless you get those apps. But like me, I have to get a Japanese number. So if you're like me and you're moving to Japan and you need a Japanese number, try to get a phone that can hold 2 SIM cards. But yes, if you're just you can rent a SIM card if you're a traveler, and you can rent the portable Wi-Fi. Now, we didn't get a portable Wi-Fi or SIM card, but we did have a portable Wi-Fi given to us by the Airbnb guy, Yo-Yo, and I don't know if it worked. I was pretty fine, because also there's like a lot of Wi-Fi in cafes, and there's so many cafes that you're pretty good. But other places that say they have Wi-Fi, it's a very short reach. So like you can walk like 5 feet past it and the freaking Wi-Fi is gone and you're like, shit, out of luck again. Like it would take me forever to get on Twitter and do stuff and just like wait for it to load. So much. So yeah, do that. Oh my god, this sunlight is killing the vibe I had. I don't know if you guys know the difference. It's like a before and after. Okay. Down to the last two things. I can make before I get to minute 30. Let me see. Smoking is still basically allowed, but the Olympics coming up in 2020, they're trying to, I don't want to say outlaw it, but they're trying to decrease the number of places that smoking is allowed. So when you go to a place, you'll get asked kinen or kitsune. Kinen is no smoking, and kitsune is smoking. So I just watched a video because I was trying to come up with my list, and they came up with a good thing. Kenan, think about Kenan and Kel for you guys who are in America and you lived in the 90s and you know Kenan and Kel. Think about them and how they don't smoke. And kitsune, think about a kitsune, like the 9 tailpox kind of thing, and think about them smoking with their long ass pipes. Think about that. That's how I'm imagining it. That's how I'm gonna remember. Kenan doesn't smoke, but a kitsune does. Just think about that. But that's all I have to say about that. I didn't run into that problem a lot because I went to newer places. I didn't go to a lot of older places. You will see like a lot of weird like designated places to smoke. It'll be like a bush fence, and you'll just see people in there just smoking because you can't really smoke like walking, but you can smoke near designated places, which are called like smoking shrines. Like if that's your practice, there'll be like designated places, and they're pretty decent size. So if you are a smoker, there are designated places. You can't really just smoke like while you're walking. That's not really like seen as polite because you're like, and you could be affecting other people who don't want to be around your smoke. Sorry. But if you find other places that they have like smoking sections, just look for them. I don't know exactly how they determine where it would be, but near train stations is mostly when they have them because I guess people want to take a smoke before they go to the train station because you can't do it there. The last thing, and this is the most fun thing, 100 yen shops, or as the ones I go to are Daisos. The 100 yen shops, let me just say, I plan, maybe not furnish, but get all utensils and like kitchenware and everything from 100 yen. Okay? 100 yen in America is $1. Now, if you're in California or even in New York, my mom is there now and she went to a Daiso. There are some Daisos in some places. Right now, I know they're in California and New York. If you've been to a Daiso, and some of them are not all good, especially the ones in America, because they're not like the ones the ones I know. But you're gonna have so much fun at Daiso, but you will get lost just wanting to buy like everything. You're like, oh, I need this and I need this, or I need this because of this. Just remember how big your luggage is and how much you can fit. Okay, like just think about that. But yeah, Daisos are amazing. Oh, look, I got through it before the 30-minute mark, but now I'm gonna ramble on because it's my video and you guys are still here. So if you are still here past it, congratulations. But yeah, those are the 12 things that I wish I knew. Well, a lot of them I kind of knew, but had wrong ideas about going to Japan. So if you guys are going to Japan, or if you guys are like, you're like me and you took my advice and you watched my past videos and now you're going to Japan, hey, we may meet each other. Probably not, because the company I'm going to, I don't think a lot of people know about. And also I'm going to like not private school, but like it's going to be with like little kids. So I'm not teaching like junior high and stuff. That'll be later. I didn't want to do that, but right now I'm just trying to get any job to get me in Japan. Maybe my second year, maybe I'll do that. But I guess it's gonna be like little kids, but that's fine because I'd like me some little kids as long as they're behaved. So I'm going to Japan. Sorry, didn't want to offend anybody, but yeah. So yeah. But I hope you guys really stay on with me with this journey. I hope to really plant my roots. Like you guys are probably saying, oh, she's gonna go there for a year and then come back. No. My thing is to legit live in Japan. Like, I plan to just go there and never come back. I'm just kidding. No. I mean, if I come back, it'll be, like, for personal reasons or, like, to visit family or whatever. But everyone that I'm speaking to, even my coworkers, some of them found out that I'm going and they're like, oh, so I get to use you as a free like Airbnb. And I'm like, I can barely afford an apartment for myself. You think I have enough money and enough leeway to get a 2-bedroom or to get you a pull-out couch? And then 2 of my coworkers, the 2 of which that became my 19 and 20 subscriber, were like, oh my god, I don't want to die. And I'm like, guys, you're not gonna. I even told them to get the Airbnb that I went to with the same guy. Like, they think they're gonna get harmed. And I'm like, if you guys know, Japan has one of the lowest crime rates in the world. Kind of one of the reasons why I'm moving there. Oh my god. But like, yeah, so they're just going crazy. So everyone's using me as a like thing. My mom is like, oh, so I have a place to stay when I go to Japan, and I have a reason to go to Japan every so often. I'm like, Mom, you do know I'll be working, right? And I'll only have Saturdays and Sundays off, right? She's like, yeah. So I had like 1,000 people who are like already like hitting me up for like places, and I'm like, I'm not even there yet, and they're already like planning their travels. Literally, I had them planning their travels. They're like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna go with this date. What do you think? Like, literally, they're asking me, and I'm like, stop asking me. I'm not even there yet. I don't even have the money to get my own place. Right now, I'm relying on the company to give me an apartment, but I do want my own place. So, if you guys know anybody, if you guys have connections, let me know. I'm trying to get an apartment, like a decent apartment, you know. I don't know where I'm living yet. I won't find out till I think January or sometime later on this next month in December. But yeah. But I'm also looking for an apartment that'll let me have pets, because if you think your girl's gonna live alone with like nobody and nothing, you got another thing coming. I plan to get me a cat. Okay? I couldn't have a cat when I lived here because my mom was like deathly allergic to cats, so I could never have a cat. I've only had 2 dogs. And I want a cat. I'm gonna have one. But I need to find an apartment, which is very... You think Japan, who like is cat central, would have a lot of places to let you have pets? No, that's a total opposite. It's a total opposite. There are actually very few places that let you have pets. And I'm like, why? I just want a cat. I just want a cat. But yeah, guys. So, yeah, oh my god. So, and again, 12 things. Hope this guys help you when you guys are doing your travels to Japan, or maybe it may help you think about if you go to another country and you have to look through these, because some of these are actually good if you think about, other countries like the Wi-Fi one and taxis and tipping, it may help you. So, see you guys hopefully in the next video. Hopefully I'll post this fast. Don't know when, but fast. But as always, goodbye and ja ne.